Hi guys, and welcome back. So hopefully you enjoyed the time lapse that we had at the beginning. I'm going to try and keep with this format, but do tell me what you think. So roughly I'm going to be going with about 2 to 4 minutes of time lapse, and I'm going to talk about what I've done in the builds, just so you guys get an idea of well, how I actually went about it. So I've taken a huge amount of inspiration from Jag Thunder's Airfield kind of like series. It's a really good series. I've actually linked it in the description of all of these videos. There's a lot of things that he had already done, which made sure that I didn't make mistakes. So I do recommend going and seeing that series. It is really good. It's about 3 years old now, but it's still an absolutely brilliant reference. You know, nothing has really changed in Minecraft enough to make it all kind of like change really. So it's pretty good. So what I've got in front of me is the kind of research bit. Jag does go into quite a lot of detail with this as well. Look at a load of airfields. Look at a load of air bases. Now, it's up to you if you want to kind of go with, you know, the country of origin. I've had a look at quite a lot of the RAF ones. This is RAF Bryce Norton, which I think is the biggest UK airbase. But there's a lot of similarities in a lot of them. So I wanted to do like a small single runway, which actually this one actually has got. I'm not building Bryce Norton, but using it as inspiration. But one of the things you'll notice is all like the different areas. So you've always got these kind of like stripy bits. You've got the touchdown things. I'll talk about them in a second. And on Wikipedia it tells you what the actual terms are. And then all the different, you know, bits that come off of it, how you can get onto the runway, the taxiways they call them, and all that kind of stuff. But do look at loads of different airfields, and there's quite a few different reasons. One thing that you'll notice, if you're from the US and you've already done an airbase or you've had a look at Jag series, the markings in the UK are totally different. They're actually quite different. So you actually get single lines where you would have 2 or 3 lines. And then when you actually get the touchdown, you get this stupid little thing. I actually don't like it, which is why I went with the US style, or not really the US style, the kind of like major style, not really major style, the majority of it. So Wikipedia, as always, is a great reference. I actually got the numbering off of this picture, which is the numbering picture, because it actually has the measurements in there. So I kind of went roughly with it. I didn't do it exactly, but I did do 9, and I actually did 4 wide in the end, because it looked better when I actually put it down, which is the always thing, you know, use these as reference, but don't use them exactly. If you think it looks better in another way, do it another way. So I'll kind of like show you the markings on those. It also does in this as well. It does explain the markings as well. It does say how why you put 0.9 when it's actually 90 degrees, and where you would actually put that where it'd be appropriate. There's a big plan there of O'Hare, which is huge. But the main thing that's quite good is this sections of a runway bit of it. I was trying to zoom in to make it look easier, but it just didn't work. But it does explain all the different sections. There is this displaced thresholds. I haven't seen them as much. It's really weird. All of the airfields that I've had a look at, I haven't seen this displaced section with the arrows in it. I've only ever seen like the threshold part of it, and then it just gets into the main kind of sections of a runway. Really weird. Or blast pads, sorry. The blast pads, and then you've got the threshold. But it does explain it, and what kind of like goes on with this. Weirdly, so I had a look at a couple bases. I had a look at Bryce Norton. There's also one near me, which is Cold Rose, which is the nearest air base to me down here. Okay, that's fine. I'll zoom in. I think I've just skipped it. But we've got Cold Rose, which is near Helston in Cornwall. It's got a really... This seems to be quite common with the UK's kind of bases, where you have like one really long runway. They have 2 shorter ones, and they're always intersecting. So that's Cold Rose. I've used this as quite a lot of inspiration for, well, just kind of like looking at it and trying to get an idea of everything. And it's pretty cool, actually. I've driven past it quite a few times. There is quite, you know, there's quite a lot of planes there. The other thing that we've got in Cornwall, at least, is actually a little bit further down. Past Mully, and we do actually have like a naval kind of runoff. Again, it's like a weird, this triangle pattern. This one's looks like it's got 4 runways, but some of those look short as hell. And of course, the US bases are probably some of the best to look at, just because they're so much bigger. Nellis is one of the ones that I've actually, the actual markings that I've used have actually been from Nellis. When I was just having a quick look around, it seemed to be one of the best. By the way, I'm using Google Earth, if you guys haven't noticed, but yeah, Nellis as well was one of the ones that I had a look at. And one of the things that when I did an airport, or started to do like an airfield ages ago, I only did like a couple episodes, left and right is for those markings. Then you've got the angle as well on like each of those. But you know, this was huge, so I didn't go that big with the back piece on here. But what I did do is I used the markings. It does actually explain on the Wikipedia page how many feet it is. So it's in feet. So just convert those over to meters, which is quite nice and easy. So if you convert those over to meters, then you won't have an issue. But that's what I ended up doing with my one, is just converting it over, and it's pretty good. But you can also just use something like Google Earth, and you can actually just tie them in, and you can just grab them. And Jag does go over that in his as well, but it makes it really easy. One thing I didn't do is these gigantic markings. I tried to use the 5 instead. I might switch it over to these big markings instead. I think it might look better. But yeah, what I'm saying, guys, is go and have a look, and before you even start laying down things, get the kind of rough idea, get the rough size of your airfield as well. It doesn't matter so much in Minecraft because, well, it's pretty, people won't be able to tell. They'll be able to tell about the width if you have a plane which is way too big for the runway. But if you've not got it too long, not as long as a real one, it doesn't really matter. What I've got is I've actually built a Eurofighter Typhoon at the end of it, and they only need 500 meters to actually take off, which is actually surprisingly short. So actually, I'm just going to switch over to the full Minecraft kind of view. There we go. So yeah, what I've actually got in here we go. If I switch over to game mode, from this part to the other side, I actually haven't measured this actually, which is a bit weird. I know it's over 1,000. I think I'm pretty sure it's over 1,000. Is what I went for this one, so it's more than enough, more than what I need, which is always good. So I'll just switch to game mode 3 and zoom down. So yeah, there we go. That's the markings that I did. So they're not too bad. And then we've got the 3 lines. Then we've got the 5 over there. So this was all just measured out using Google Earth and also the Wikipedia site. So if we just zoom on down, the center lines as well are actually the ones that are from Nellis. So I use the same size. And then all I did with the runway is I just flipped it. So I just copied it all and flipped it over in order to get all of it, which worked really well. So there we go, we got 27 on the other side, so it's 270 degrees going west, which is the thing. So if you're going east, if you're pointing east, put 0.9 on it. If you're just doing it at a right angle, which you probably will for Minecraft, and the other way will be 27, then you don't have to really think about it. But if I just do it from here to here, yeah, 1,249. So it's not too bad. It's not too bad sized. The only thing I've got to do, I want to scuff up the landscape, like the blast. The blast area has really been blasted a bit, which would be quite good. And I've also got to obviously sort out some areas like that. But I'm going to do that as I get around to doing the main base. So if we fly down, it's not really too much to talk about with the markings. It's one of those things that once you start having a look at them and cutting it up, it's not too bad. So I think those are the 5s that I'm going to turn into solid blocks because I just haven't seen those on actual airfields. But it does seem to differ as well. It does seem to differ from each of them. So what I ended up doing on the next bit is just building some stuff going off. So this is just like a kind of like a taxiway into a couple very, very small hangars. These are very small hangars. I think I'm going to put training aircraft in here. So I think I'm going to put a couple trainers in there. And then we've got the slightly bigger one, but it's still small in standards of airfields. And this is where I'm just going to still have some training ones, and I've just built a small building, so I'll kind of like go into that in a second. One thing that I did do, which I shouldn't have done, and I'll explain why. Jag does go over this in his vids, which is build your birds first, because then you'll be able to scale everything to it. So I was initially thinking I might actually have the Typhoons in here, maybe, or something like that. They won't fit. They are too big, or the new ones are too big. So this is the old one from about 5 years ago that I built. So this is back in the day. This was really back in the day, and then this is my kind of like rebuilt one, scaled up a little bit to 1.5. I think it looks a lot better. The the main thing about the Eurofighter Typhoons is the intake engines at the bottom, and also it's very, very square at the bottom. Really, really square. It's just going to go straight back into those 2 engines. So I've just kind of like put those onto there, and it's supposed to be open at the back, but I just found that the great texture that I've kind of like got for here that was in the Conquest Reforged mod, and I've just retextured. I think it just looks great on the back, so I've kind of shoved those. It's just you can't do anything with these across here, so I don't know what I was going to do with those. I was tempted to put something like a wall or something between them, but then it just it doesn't connect, so I decided against it in the end. But yeah, I'm really happy with how it's actually turned out, but these will not fit here at all, so yeah, I mean I could put them in here, but I'd only be able to get a couple, so I'm going to move those. Instead what I'm going to do is I'm going to have these as training hangars, because you're going to need some trainers. Going to build some small single prop planes. So this runway get the map up on Journey Map. So this runway, because it's smaller, is going to be more of like a training base. I am going to have some proper planes around, and probably I'll show you the mountain in a second. That mountain does look like it needs a missile base in it. It's one of those. So I'm going to have that more as like training type things around here. Then I'll have probably maybe in this part I'll have the bigger planes, the jets. So I have a couple of squadrons or squadron based or something like that, as well as maybe even up on this part. So that's what I'm going to do with this area here. One of the things I have done as well, so this building I could not decide on the roof and I still don't like it, so I'm probably going to change that up. One of the things that I've got in here, I'm going to have some bathrooms in here, and then I'm also going to have like a briefing room for this section. And probably just some other rooms and like rec rooms and things like that. Maybe if I need to expand it, I might need to expand it, and just have some like training rooms or something like that. So you get some young pilots coming in and they might actually be debriefed. Then they might go on a quick training mission type things in their single props, or if I build some BAE Hawks or something like that, which get used for training in the RAF. Yeah, I've just done this nice simple little thing. So I've textured up these. I'm really happy with them, how they've actually turned out. So we'll just have that going up to upstairs. Just this nice simple little building on the side. And then I've just started on a road. I'm not happy with it yet. I think I'm going to recurve it and bring that, make it a little bit more natural. I'm just going to have this going back up and probably have some helipads over on this section. So Snowblaze actually did comment about this as well and say, it's really mountainous actually. The area is really mountainous, which means we haven't got as much flat space except down here. But for the initial part of what we're going to be building is around here, we haven't got as much flat space around. So one of the things we can do is we can actually have helipads, actually built kind of sticking out of the mountain and make it look really quite unrealistic because of avalanches and stuff like that. But or not really avalanches, rock slides and things like that. But in terms of like trying to make it look cool, we could definitely build some of those. So we're going to build some of those up into it and have a couple helipads here. The other thing that I think would be really, really cool to have is actually have in some of the mountains have like smaller runways which have got catapult systems, like the same catapult systems that you get on aircraft carriers. So we've actually got like alert fighters, because if it's going to be like have a research base as well, so highly highly sensitive kind of information. We want to be able to get birds in the air, and at the minute it's going to be a little bit difficult to get them out of the valleys, or they might get picked up on radar or whatever. We'll put some radar stations and things like that around, as well as some surface-to-air missile sites. But probably don't want too many of those in case one of your new stealth fighters that you created gets picked up and gets shot down, because it's not that stealth. But yeah, we'll have a look at doing those kind of things. So I want to have some like smaller runways from some places, and then actually have lift systems going up. So it's completely a bit nuts and a little bit sci-fi, a little bit crazy military base. But I think it'd be cool. I think it'd be very, very cool to do. So we'll kind of build those around as well, so we can have some very, almost like you've got like a pilot that's sat in a room, or 10 pilots sat in a room. All of them have got their birds already armed up, already fueled up, and then they can just be out and in the air within about 30 seconds from catapult systems in some mountains as well. So that'd be quite cool. And of course we can protect those by having the hangars inside the mountains. So I think it'd be cool. But let me know what you think about that. I think it'd be pretty good. So around the back, totally stolen from Jag Thunder. So he had quite a lot of these kind of things around, and actually it's because they are around. I just couldn't see them on the maps, on Google Maps, but I wouldn't have known. I would have ignored them, I think, if I didn't watch this series, because so we got like like gas tank or water tank type things. Which I need to retexture this block, which is the quartz. It's my quartz like slab. I know it's vertical slab, but my quartz like slab quartz block. So I need to retexture that. But also just things around as well, which I'm quite happy that we've got, in the Conquest mod, which is why it's really good. It's like the anvils for most blocks, and also when you place them down, you get the like single angles, so you can stick them together really. If you've got a nice tileable texture and make these kind of like transformer looking things around, as well as I'm guessing some sort of weird air conditioning unit thing. So I've got kind of like those around, as well as some stairs just going on the back with the awesome Conquest models. There's no way that I could have made that look as good as it does without just using the Conquest Reforged models and just shoving a texture on top. I mean, it just looks fantastic. It's just taking taking a composite from those ones, and also just my normal iron block. So just grabbing those two and just doing some ridiculously cool stuff with it. So yeah, I'm getting there. So I will be building some trainers, so trainer aircraft, probably single prop type ones, but I might also do some BAE Hawks. Depends on the scale of them. But I'm pretty happy with the Eurofighter Typhoon. I really like it actually. I'm really happy with how it's turned out. It's a lot better than the old one. So I'm going to get rid of that old one, and I'm going to have to move it. So I'm probably going to store it, or I'll probably just skem it up. I think I'll just store it as a schematic file. But if there's anything that you guys want me to build in this series as well, we'll be doing some bigger hangars because we need to. So I got the scale wrong. But if there's anything you guys want me to actually do in this series, if you want me to rebuild some planes and things like that, do let me know. And we'll start small and then get bigger. The good thing is I did build this runway quite wide, wider than I think it is on Nellis, and that means that we can actually have the Eurofighters will fit quite nicely on it without it making it look too big. Just if you have a look at the scale on the journey map, you can kind of see what I mean. Like that's the new one. It'll just, you know, it doesn't look out of scale at all. So if you have like a squadron of those up, it will be absolutely fine. But yeah, guys, let me know what you think. Let me know if there's anything you guys would tweak or anything like that, because I've just got some parking spaces and I forgot about those. But yeah, just some general parking spaces, as well as some in here, so you could just lump in a big vehicle of some kind in this bit. But yeah, let me know what you think, and let me know what you guys want me to build next on this. What I'm thinking is bringing the road up and getting some helipads in, so I can move this stuff off the runway. But you know, doing a couple of those and having some little birds or something like that, because I think they would be great for just patrolling the general area, and we can have like a refueling station. Maybe if we have some helipads on the mountain, we can actually have you know, bring those into some like hangars within the mountain for some maintenance areas, perhaps. Make it a bit Bond villain, you know, especially with this mountain. I mean, this is the kind of like volcano one that I was talking about, where I think I'm gonna have some sort of super missile up in the top of it, just sitting up in here, just chilling. Though that'd be pretty scary for the trainers. Did they see that? But you know, we'll close it all up and everything. The other thing I was thinking about having is some sort of observation type tower. Probably not the main flight control tower, but from here you can see, especially on extreme render distance, I've only got it on far at the minute, you can see quite a lot of the airfield, so perhaps do something there. But yeah, let me know what you think, guys. Seems pretty good at the minute, and tell me what you think of the format, if you want it changing, if you'd rather have less videos but more content in them, etc. and so forth. But so far I'm pretty happy with the smaller kind of mounts, because I can talk about it and tell you guys what I've done. I kind of explained it a little bit, but yeah, thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you on the next one.